We just qualified for the May monthly finals for the Clash of Clans Golden Ticket event, and in today's video, we will share with you all the bases that defended very well for us. So let's dive into it. And we will open things off here with the very first base, and this one of course is going to be the double poison anti-2 ring base. So to start things off with, I think in terms of defending against time is one of the biggest things when it comes to Root Rider attacks. So obviously everyone in this qualifier has actually utilized a Root Rider spam, but we actually found ways to actually try to slow these attacks down. So obviously to start things off with is making pathing directly into the core very difficult. So as you can see there, this attacker did utilize the Archer Queen there for that 3 o'clock compartment. He did utilize Siege Barrack at 6 and sent the Root Riders along the 5 to 6 side. But unfortunately there, with how far those Inferno Towers are, everything decided to path around that multi-Inferno. And then with those giant bombs there, as you saw there, it did eliminate a lot of the health off of these Root Riders. And unfortunately, with the attacker losing every single one of his troops prior to getting back into this Town Hall compartment, he is going to fall just simply short because of how delayed this overgrowth was, making these Root Riders actually path around the Town Hall. And then there was no other troop that would target the Town Hall other than this Barbarian King there. So again, one of the key things about this specific base is how the ricochet cannons were placed and that multi-Archer tower placed in combination with that multi-Inferno, so that there was already, to start things off with, a lot of incoming damage in terms of splash. So really nice defense here to open this one off, especially in this specific meta. Getting any defense is automatically good for us because we then can adjust our attacks to be able to accommodate, and instead of having to fight for time, we can go for any safe triple. So again, really nice hit here. Not only did it defended against time, but obviously since it was a fail, that will be the biggest thing that will come into factor when it comes to the overall results. So now let's jump into the very next replay. Next up is yet another Root Rider spam, but in this attack, this attacker is actually not utilizing an overgrowth spell, but this time it's actually going to be a jump spell. So obviously same concept as before. The attacker did the Siege Barrack one corner, and then King and Queen on one corner, and then Root Riders directly into the middle of that Inferno compartment. So really good base identification there, being able to get this funnel down utilizing the jump value of this hero to push through and try to get down this monolith. But unfortunately there, with the timing of the clan castle troops and that CC and the monolith timing, that is going to hurt these heroes a little bit, because now the heroes are going to be stalled. And not only just that, how delayed it was for these Root Riders to push through that single Inferno Tower initially, it now does make this attack super complicated, because as you see there, the Queen unfortunately dies through ability through that monolith while trying to deal with the CC. And again, this is exactly why there's actually pros and cons when it comes to utilizing an overgrowth versus not utilizing it, because if this attacker had the overgrowth, he would have been simply able to go around the Town Hall, so that way the Root Riders did not have to go through the Giga Poison, but instead end on the Town Hall. But unfortunately there, with everything dying as early as it did, everything is going to fall short. And again, defenses are going to be huge when it comes to in this meta. As you see here, without the overgrowth, this attacker did not have any success when trying to get the Root Riders through the Town Hall, because the back end was just simply too much to handle for this attacker. So again, let's proceed and move on to the very next replay. Moving along here, the very next replay is going to be on yet the second base I'm sharing with you guys today. Now this one again is going to be a very stacked core. As you can see, storages there, and basically in front of the hero. We do have it on both sides, and of course there, and of course and the Barbarian King as well. So simply with this makes any Root Rider pathing very difficult, and around this single Inferno Tower, and of course around the Eagle and this multi-Inferno as well. So again, with this attacker, he is simply just going to try to Sui his Barbarian King inside of this single Inferno compartment while trying to get the Queen directly to clear out this scatter shot so that the Root Riders will simply just come in and work through the core of the base to go towards his back end there. Now he is going to utilize the Siege Barrack there. Really great work identifying the Siege Barrack value, but unfortunately with the outside ricochet cannons, it does make a huge difference. As we can take a look and see, it does take down every single one of his Siege Barrack troops, and now it is left but nothing but the Superman CC. But one key thing to note is that the heroes did not take down the scatter shot and that single Inferno tower there, which is now going to be problematic because now everything is going to have to backtrack, and because of the late overgrowth spell, nothing is going to be able to take down the Town Hall. And of course, now with the RC working around this expo, it is going to be just the one single warden, and now everything is working back to the Town Hall. And this is where the big problem is that since the power was not good enough to get through the back end multi, everything had to go through the Town Hall to then get through the back end, and unfortunately he lost every single one of his troops through that Giggle Inferno tower, and now ending on the Tesla farm and the Barbarian King with no hero alive is going to be a great defense for us again. So we are going to wrap this up roughly around the 87 or 88% mark. He is going to close it out at an 87% defense against the Root Rider spam strategy. Next up, we do have this very same base that we're taking a look at. It's the second base I'm sharing with you guys, and of course we've already taken a look at an overgrowth spell attack, but this time instead we are going to look and try to see how this attacker does with just the jump spell. So here we go. He is going to start off with utilizing that jump spell so that the Barbarian King can actually try to attempt to go into this air defense. Because of the lack in funneling, the Barbarian King is actually not going to be able to go inside to pick off the value that he had initially intended for. So now instead, you can see the Root Riders are coming along this top side and going to work its way through this side around that single Inferno, and because of that, instead of being able to target directly into the single Inferno, he is going to have to backtrack and have to work his way around this defense layer there. So luckily there, with the Barbarian King going inside, it is going to benefit this attacker. But again, like I've already talked about, having to go through this Town Hall Giga Poison with the Root Riders just makes things just complicated, because now he's not going to have anything approaching this back end, and of course the ricochet cannon sitting there ready to deal damage. So there we go. A little bit unfortunate with the Barbarian King not going the initial way he had intended for, but he did get the value out of that King though, to say the less. He is having that RC ability there, popping it right as he's getting through the back end expo, but unfortunately because all of the damage that remains on this base, it is just not going to be enough power to punch through the rest of the base here. So really unfortunate there, but have I said again, very great defense for us, which has resulted in putting us in a very good position when it comes to planning the rest of our attacks and moving through the rest of this war. And here we are to the third defense on this second base here. Now this one again is going to be that classic Root Rider spam with an overgrowth spell, and have I said, these positioning of these non-defense buildings on both of these sides makes the Root Riders pathing very interesting, because here everyone has been utilizing this entry point, but however, pathing around through the single and having this flank Inferno has been actually doing very well against this attack. So here we go. We are going to utilize the Siege Barrack. I'm assuming he wanted the Siege Barrack to go left towards this side and the Archer Queen to work towards that right side, but unfortunately that Archer Queen does actually fall and loses its unicorn very early, and as you see, the Ice Golems already stalling this attack up very nicely, because now the Ice Golems stalling the troops gives this multi-Inferno time, and with that single Inferno to be able to deal damage. So one huge mistake here was not being able to funnel this whole side super early, because since he did not funnel that early, nothing was able to take advantage and try to push through this before they could go back to the Town Hall. And that's the biggest problem here, is when you're not funneling your corners, the Root Riders does go out and backtrack around the Town Hall and not actually go back for the Town Hall or towards the back end to end on that Town Hall. So again, it kind of defeats the purpose of utilizing the overgrowth spell, because the whole point of the overgrowth spell is to be able to clear the buildings behind the Town Hall, so when the overgrowth comes out, they can circle and back onto the town hall. But unfortunately there, that was not the case for this guy, and he is going to be stuck with just a Barbarian King left and a couple troops there to utilize to take down and get as much percentage here as he possibly can. We are going to just speed things up because we know this is just going to simply fall just short. Had he actually funneled that corner side early, I do believe it would push the Rewriters through the queen side back in towards here so that everything could collapse on the town hall. But unfortunately there, a great defense for us nonetheless. If he had like another minute and a half, he probably would have got that. But now let's move to the final base of today. Now to wrap things up with, we are going to end it on this third base here that did well for us. Now this one is going to be yet again classic meta attack, Rewriters with the Overgrowth spell. Now he is actually going to utilize the Golem there very early there just to be able to tank for this Barbarian King, and he is going to take advantage of this jump and being able to get into that compartment. A little bit unfortunate there, he could have actually jumped roughly here to be able to get directly into the monolith, but nonetheless he is going to get that corner funnel simply straight into the base. So he is starting off at this whole upper left hand corner here. Now unfortunately there, with those buildings as it was placed in front of the multi-inferno, nothing gets a direct pathing into the multi, and because of that, it does push all those Rewriters off and around that Inferno Tower immediately. And here is the biggest problem that this attacker is actually going to face, because not only does the king does not get the monolith, he is now being stuck with the rest of his Rewriters going around the base, and it is not going to be able to focus and push through the core there. So he is going to actually utilize this Overgrowth spell to try to alleviate and try to minimize this damage that's going to be on this Rewriter, so that his Rewriter push and World Champion can push through the back end of the base. He is getting quite lucky there with the Archer Queen still up top there to be able to actually go and potentially get that town hall for this attacker, because otherwise I do think this will actually 1-star. So here we go, utilizing his Hawk Puppet. He is trying to get everything down as soon as possible. The queen gets through the wall and is going to be able to lock down this town hall, but unfortunately there, he is not going to get that triple here, mainly because of that huge split in the Rewriters redirecting and repathing, resulting in nothing going through the core to clear out the rest of the back end of the base. So again, this base had minimal Overgrowth spell value, but again, that pathing was very crucial, and how everything just pathed around the core is exactly what this base was intended for. So again, really great defense here, wrapping it up with 91%. And that will do it for today's video. Now here are the bases that did the best for us that I'd like to share with you all. So make sure you guys go ahead and check the comments, because we will link those down for you guys, and of course the recommended clan castle below for each specific base. So make sure you guys go grab those links and let us know how they do for you all. Now, if you guys like this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a thumbs up, and comment down below what you guys would like to see in our next one. But until next time, I'll catch you all in the very next one. Ghost out.